Pearl Cold Black grew her hair from shaved to past waist length in 4 years. Curly Proverbz grew her hair 5 inches in 10 weeks. So, how are these women growing their hair so fast it feels illegal? I found out exactly what they're doing, but it's probably even simpler than you think. So, I'm going to break it down for you so we can literally just copy and paste. I'm Celestine and I'm on a journey aiming to grow my hair from shaved all the way to tailbone length within 7 years. Now, I'm nearly 6 years into the journey and I've only just got to waist length. So, for me, it's been a very slow and steady process. So, I definitely want to know how these ladies are seeing such fast hair growth. So, let's start with Curl Cold Black, otherwise known as Chenille. Curl Cold Black initially shaved her head in October 2018. I believe this was the second time that she has shaved her head. And in 2022, she managed to grow her hair past her waist. Now, I don't actually know her height, and I do believe that is a factor. But either way, she managed to grow her hair past her waist. Now, I have already spoken about Curl Cold Black in one of my videos, and I'm going to link that above for you. So I'm not going to go into her routine too much, but in general, as you know, she typically protective styles with twists, scarves, and things like that. Sometimes she does plaits. She will also pre-poo her hair. She keeps her hair moisturized and just all the typical things we know to do to retain length. What, as I said, that video is linked above, so feel free to watch that afterwards to get a bit more of her detailed routine. Some of the extra things I've noticed that I believe has helped Curl Cold Black to see so much growth in just 4 years. Here is some of the things. Now, the first key thing I noticed from her routine is in her early days of growing her hair, she was doing an onion juice pre-poo. Now, when I first heard about this, I was like, onion in my hair? No, honey, no. But listen, onion is an organic sulfur, and sulfur is something that does help to grow our hair. Not intentionally, but it's something to do with, do you know what? I'm not even going to pretend to know, to be honest. But the long and short of it is sulfur really does help in hair growth. And so she was doing these onion juice pre-poos where she makes like a bit of a paste kind of thing and, puts it in her hair before she washes it and obviously washes it out. This, I believe, has been a massive factor to her really fast hair growth. Another thing I've noticed is she was sometimes using things like fenugreek, henna, amla, probably some other Ayurvedic stuff as well. Now, yeah, as I just mentioned, these things are called like Ayurveda. And also rosemary, I forgot to mention that rosemary and green tea sprays is something that she was doing. So I really do feel that this is something that has massively contributed to her fast hair growth as well. And then the next thing that I've noticed is that she was taking biotin in the early days of her hair growth. Again, so I'm just focusing on her growing her hair from shaved to around about waist length. So those pretty much those 4 years. Her routine after that may be different. She may have stopped using certain things. And actually, I did notice that she said she stopped using amla because she realized that she was allergic to it. But fenugreek, henna, rosemary, green teas, things like that, those were still part of her routine. So those are some of the things that Curl Cold Black did to really grow her hair that fast. Really quick one. If you're enjoying the content of this video, then I'm going to ask you to just click that subscribe button because it shows me and it shows YouTube that this video is valuable for you, and hey, I'll just start creating more for you guys. Let's have a look now at Curly Proverbz, who is also known as Farida. Her channel is absolutely amazing, and actually so is the same for Curl Cold Black. Regarding Curly Proverbz, she recently did a hair growth challenge, and can you believe she grew her hair 5 inches within 10 weeks. That sounds absolutely crazy to me. And I've already done the maths because, yeah, I just wanted to know if somebody were to keep up this routine for a full year, how many inches would they grow per year? I've done the maths, as I said, and literally it would be 26 inches. What? Like, huh? Is that even possible? I don't know. Anyway, she grew her hair 5 inches in 10 weeks, and she did this predominantly by being on a hair growth challenge. So, here are a few of the things that the challenge included. So, one of the first things I noticed is her challenge included taking MSM orally. This was in a form of a powder, and she actually supplies this from her own store. I'm not sure where she sources it, but anyway, it's sourced and supplied through her own store. And this is something she was taking every single day throughout this challenge. Alongside that, she was also doing a lot of juicing, meaning she was able to get in more of, those greens, those veggies, those ingredients that are just really good for us internally. And then she was also using Ayurvedic products. So, again, things like amla, henna powders, probably fenugreek as well, all those typical, Ayurvedic products. Again, she has her own product line, and these are things that are included. And then the next thing I noticed is she was very active in the gym. She said that it was around about 3 times a week that she was very active in the gym. And again, her being active helps to stimulate her blood flow. And if you're stimulating blood flow, particularly to the scalp, then it is going to be helping to grow hair. So those are some of the key things. Of course, the same as Curl Code Black, she kept up with her typical length retention routine, but I'm not going to go into that in this video. If you do want to focus on just building a solid length retention routine first, before you even get thinking about trying to boost your hair growth, then definitely I would recommend that. And I'm going to link down below. It's 8 tips that are going to help you to grow your hair past your plateau. I'll link that in the comments, the pinned comment, and that'll be absolutely free. I also just want to share my experience of fast hair growth as well, because there was a time when I managed to see my hair grow. It was 1.25 inch in 6 weeks. And again, I have a video on that, so I'm going to link it above. So 1.25 inches in 6 months. 6 weeks, not months. When I calculated what that would be, if I were to continue that routine over a year, again, that would have been 10 inches. Can you imagine 10 inches of hair growth in a year? That is just mad to me. But I didn't keep it up. I literally only did it for 6 weeks. And the way that I managed to see that fast hair growth was I was taking MSM powder orally. So exactly like I just mentioned from Curly Proverbz. It actually wasn't her brand of MSM at the time, but I do now have her brand, particularly the one with vitamin C included in it. But yes, I was taking MSM powder, and that's where I saw that massive fast hair growth just in that short space of time of 6 weeks. So looking at all of this, looking at what Curl Code Black did, looking at what Curly Proverbz did, and just looking at my experience as well, taking that with a pinch of salt because my hair ain't nothing compared to these ladies. When I say nothing, obviously my hair is amazing. I'm so grateful for it. I praise God for it. I'm talking in terms of length. But the similarities across all three are: one, the use of sulfur. Now, remember, Curl Code Black was using onion juice. So she was using like the raw organic sulfur. Onion is really rich in sulfur, by the way. I don't know if I said that before. And then myself and Curly Proverbz used MSM, which is also a form of sulfur. So that has been proven to be helpful in really boosting our hair growth. And then the second thing I noticed across certainly the two ladies is their use of Ayurveda. So if that's something that you are interested in trying, then why not look into it, do your research, find out what you believe might work for you, find out also the benefits, but also maybe the downsides of some of these things, because I will say that I personally have experienced the downside of using MSM, but it definitely is helpful in hair growth as well. Now, if you want to learn from three ladies who have all grown their hair to their butt or even past their butt, you can learn from their routines. You can literally steal it for yourself, implement it in your life, and you are going to see again just great hair growth. Then watch the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you over there in that one.